Hello, my goblins and goblets. Here we have a spicy one for you today. The new pack just dropped, and guess what? Krawler's got some new cards. One card in particular that kind of activates the whole deck. But we're going to jump right into it. And I know the first thing you're going to tell me right now. You're going to say, Fatzoid, how come I'm not seeing Spright up there? Because as you know, Spright works actually pretty well with Crawlers because a lot of the Crawlers are level 2, right? We're not doing that, okay? I wanted to try a pure variant first that's like more true to the nature of Krawler before I do any type of playing with, let's say, Spright. Spright, I will say ahead of time, the Spright variant is probably going to be better ahead of time just because you're playing some of the best cards in the game, okay? That all being said... we'll have a Spright replay. We'll have a Spright deck profile with Krawler probably coming up this week. Probably maybe Friday, unless a lot of people want a different deck. But yeah, we're gonna jump into this and let's talk about the deck real quick. What did the deck get? Well, the deck got this Krawler Soma. So this card is actually insane, and you could already see how good it is with Spright because look at what it can do. So you target one face-up monster you control, special summon this card from your hand. If you do, change the targeted monster to face-down defense, which is actually not bad because remember, Crawlers most of them have flip effects. You can reduce this card's level by 2 or 4, and if you do, special summon Krawler monsters with different names from your hand, deck, or graveyard whose total levels equal the amount reduced. So what this pretty much allows you to do is make Krawler Soma into a level 2. And you also can summon 2 level 2s out of the deck. Because all the other Krawler monsters are level 2 besides Deuce Krawler. But that's we don't talk about him too much. We'll get into why he's in the deck too. But yeah, that's kind of the whole point of the deck. Which is why we're running Herald of Pure Light. We're running Sky Cavalry. And we're also running Zeus. So this also allows us with Foolish Burial, we can tutor any card we want, any monster. We can pretty much search anything we want out of the deck with it. We're also playing Small World with the bridges. The bridges to go into Soma is actually Ghost Bell and Fossil Dino. But Fossil Dino also bridges Girsu, which is really nice. And the reason why we're playing Girsu is because it sends Mind Meld to the graveyard, which has a very good secondary effect. Also a very good first effect, but the first effect is a little iffy. And we'll explain in the games why it's iffy. But yeah, this is kind of what we have. We can go into Trish, we can go into Black Rose, and we can go into Notoria Beast by pitching Destrudo to the graveyard. And the way we do that is through Dendrite. So Dendrite is our card. And remember, these cards are all searchable from Soma. Okay? But they also have a secondary effect. So another thing you guys have to know before we get into these matches, if this face-up card leaves a battlefield or leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, special summon 2 Crawlers names with different names from your deck to face-down defense position. Now remember, it says 2 Krawler names. So literally, you can actually summon your level 9s at this point. Your level 9, you can also summon Soma too. But this is a way of getting Dendrite onto the fields as well. And we play one of Field Spell. It's not the greatest card, but it's actually pretty good. It's not like horrible. It's not like that great for me to run Terraforming though. And we're also running World Legacy Survivor. This card's really nice. This card allows us to pretty much excavate, which allows us to send cards to the graveyard as well. And pretty much dig deeper for either one of our traps or just for a Soma. Soma's the main card we want. So we'll go into the games and you guys will see how the deck plays and see how the matches play. We're also playing 3 evenlies because this deck has a very hard time going second. Okay. That all being said, let's get to it. Hello, everybody. We're here today with game number 1 and we're playing against one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. His name is Haroon, or her name is Haroon. Don't want to judge. We're just going to so here, it might look a little awkward just setting 3. But honestly, it's not a horrible play. And the nice thing about doing this as well is honestly going into our link monsters isn't that great. So this is what I'm going to tell you. One thing first of all, the only time you really want to be going into the link monsters in turn 1 is if you have like a way of having a world chalice in the graveyard, so you can go into lib, so you can set up the traps. That's the only reason why you'd ever want to. You probably want to keep them face down anyway, but that's the only thing. Another thing you could argue is you keep one face up and the rest face down, like the one face up that you don't really care about, because if Haru, like say he plays like Rokket or something, or he just does like a board wipe or dark hole or something like that, at least you get the activation off of this being face up, because these cards, remember that secondary effect I talked about, it has to be face up on the field, which is kind of annoying. So let's watch what our opponent does. He's gonna play, okay, Harun's playing Eldritch. Oh, he's playing Vampire Kingdom. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna flip up Krawler Spright. He's gonna flip up Conquistador. And then this guy's a pro. He flips up Golden Land Forever. And you know what? These are the players you play against unranked, guys. Woohoo! I wanted to include that because it was just funny. I just thought that was just so funny to me. I think we could have done something here, to be honest. Because even if you end up getting rid of everything on the board, we still have evenly as follow-up, so I'm not too worried. Hello, we're here with the real, pretty much the real game number 1, but we're playing against Yami. We activate Small World. We send Fossil Dyna, which adds Girsu. Girsu is going to get negated. Kind of annoying. One thing I want to say, because this is something I always mess. I can't, because I play very quickly in my games, so this is something I always mess up on. Try not to summon your cards like here, like your first card that you summon. Try and summon it over here. Like you just don't want to block. Like pretend Girsu went through and I sent the World Chalice card. I don't want to block the zone for Lib, where she I could special summon to her zone, because her zone points over here. So you want to have this one unblocked and this one unblocked. So just saying. So we're going to try and negate. He droplets. He activates this, and I activate Called by the Grave on his Surflight. Surflight? I don't know. But I thought this was a good play. It stops him from searching, and also, if he doesn't have a follow-up, he's screwed. But our opponent activates Quick Launch. So, okay, I'm going to say this guy, whatever he's doing, do not do what he does. Everything he does right now is fine. Like, I know it looks bizarre, but because he ends up getting Boot Sector Launch. And if you know how Boot Sector Launch works, it has two effects. If he has no cards in the field, he can special summon 2 Rokket monsters from the hand. But the second effect, if I have more monsters than him, he can special summon the difference in Rokket monsters from the graveyard. So he legit, right now, I have no idea why he's activating Striker Dragon. All he has to do is play the field spell, activate secondary effect, and he special summons the 2 cards. And he'll be fine. But he's a little silly, so he ends up doing this. Activates Boot Sector Launch. Special summons from the graveyard, and then he has literally no plays to do. So he just does nothing. We're going to pop. We're going to go into Boral Sword. And we're pretty much going to be killing him right now. We're going to combo off. And I'm just going to say, so I thought. He Nibiru's me. So this is the nice thing about Crawlers. So when you're trying to combo off to kill someone, you don't even care about Nibiru. Because look what happens. He Nibiru's, I got a token. But then both my cards activate, right? This resurrects cards from the graveyard. And then Galil special summons from the deck. And now I have a full board still, and he has like 2 cards to play with. So now this is another card. So Deuce Krawler. We're going to talk about why this card's so good. He Harpies my back row, whatever. Deuce Krawler is face up. So what does this card do? When this card is face up on the field, And it pretty much it negates all your opponent's monsters' activations. It's pretty much a Dark Ruler no more permanently on your opponent's board. And he just concedes. He can't out this board. He's going to die to the token. GG. Kind of just goes to show. But again, I do want to point out, because I like to be honest with people, if you were playing Spright, we would have never gotten a Beard to begin with, because we went into Gigantic, and Gigantic would have made us immune to getting the Beard. So, yeah. So, it just throw that out. Alrighty, we're here with game number 2. I'm going to say 2, because the first game was kind of a wash. We're going to count that as game number 0. So I'm playing against Spright. You guys know what Spright does. We're going to fast forward through it. Here comes Sprite's starter. Plays blue. Blue adds Jet. Jet adds Smashers. Personally, when I play Spright, I value the negates more than I do Smashers. But I guess my opponent doesn't feel the same about it. I don't know. I probably would have just... instead of searching Jet, I probably would just search Carrot or something. I don't know. I probably would have just special summoned, like this board gets absolutely decimated by, like, if I have I have Evenly, which is gonna do a lot of damage, but like if I had Lightning Storm, like it also does a lot. Like, you know what I mean? So Max sees me, which pretty much makes my turn not null and void, and then he plays Jet, which grabs him. Starter, right? Starter is actually really good for him here, because like he pretty much can full combo me again because of starter. So we're gonna evenly match. He banishes everything but that, and then we set. This is literally all we can do. So now I'm gonna mind meld his Spright Elf, right? So this is going to negate him from being able to pick up blue. And then this effect activates, but he summoned red, which is actually really smart on his part. He did not need to summon red. I actually thought this was pretty clever. But you know what? Actually, it wasn't clever. Like, he had to summon red, because if he didn't, I would have just summoned Dose Krawler and just had a permanent negate on the board. So he was kind of screwed. So now it's my turn. I have Soma, so this is pretty much going to be a GG. He's going to imperm. So this is a misplay on my part, and I'm going to explain why. So if I was good at the game, right, what I actually should have done was actually set Soma, activate World Legacy Pawn to flip Sona. Sona would have flipped. Then I could have popped this, and then after he probably activates it in response, I could have activated Soma and get Soma's effect, because Soma's effect would kill him. I would pretty much be able to link climb. Yeah, Soma's dude with World Legacy Mind Meld in that graveyard, that would have been GG. And I have Destrudo, just to remind you. Yeah, Mind Meld. Mind Meld is going to summon Deuce Krawler. Like I said, this card alone will shut him down too. But so even if this guy top stacked like Nimble, Beaver, or whatever, like their 1-card starter, he still gets shut down because of Dose Krawler. So GG. And I know you guys are gonna say Evenly did a lot of work. Well, that's the whole point. It's in the deck. Okay. Alrighty, we're here with game number 3. And we're going to do Gearsu. I know you guys haven't seen me use Gearsu's effect once. And that's probably going to stay that way. I don't think I got it off at all. I played like 30 games with this deck. Maybe even more. I played a lot of games with this deck. A good amount of games. I don't know about a ton of... I played for like hours. And I don't think I've maybe gotten Gearsu off like once. It's just everyone has Ash. Everyone either Ashes, Imperms, like they always stop it. So we're summoning it. So this board's not too bad because we have Krawler Receptor. This card's protected from being destroyed in battle, right? Which is great for Mind Meld, so it protects for Mind Meld. And then we have Mind Meld as a pretty much an interrupt. Mind Meld. The thing about Mind Meld is Mind Meld's way better when you just have like one of these out. Because if I mind meld him, he just bounces my Spright Elf, right? It's not as good. It doesn't feel as good, right? So he's going to activate Foolish Burial. He sends Malicious. Malicious summons Malicious. Then he Kaiju's me. Mind Meld gets significantly worse with Kaiju. Because now he just can keep Kaijuing. Like, he just bounces his own Kaiju back, right? But we want to negate Vion's ability. Because I didn't want him to combo off with the Maliciouses. So... Cross Shape, Polymerization. He goes into Verte. And then he goes into DPE. Kind of annoying. And then he's gonna end his turn. Again, very odd. I feel like he should have just activated this ability to pop at least the Gamer Seal out. Like, I feel like you pop at least this card. I mean, you obviously don't want to be hitting this or this. But I feel like you at least pop this, but who knows. I go into Lib. He automatically goes for the pop here, because if he doesn't, Lib is non-targeted. So, this is a great thing about Lib. Lib is a non-targeting, return to deck. So... We're special summoning. He left his card on the battlefield, which means I get to abuse him. I get Deuce X Krawler. The problem with me grabbing the Deuce X Krawler, it's still I still think it's the correct choice. But the big problem with the card, right? I'm trying to think. Of a good way of explaining it. Like, I need a way of flipping it up. Because this card's very hard to flip up by itself. Like, he has to target it with, like, an effect for me to flip it up. So he goes into Sunrise. I think the plays he does here is a little wacky. He is trying to play around Zeus. Like, he's trying to, like, his hardest to, like, bait out Zeus. That's pretty much what's happening here. But I feel like he does a really odd job doing it. He activates Super Poly here. I actually wasn't afraid of this because, like, I'm like semi-familiar with, like, hero decks, and I'm pretty sure, like, Zeus, like, there's not really many targets for him to use for Zeus, unless he was playing like Mira J. But then he would need a Fallen Valbaz, so like I don't know, it's kind of odd. And then he goes into Absolute Zero, which, again, fine. Kills both my cards. I let it go through. I set my cards. Remember the cards. Look at the cards I'm setting. I set Ravenier because I want Zeus's board, but I want to make sure I get value out of this. So I grabbed Soma in case I top deck Soma, but I wanted to make sure I got all my resources. Now I'm gonna go for, like, this is forcing him to activate Drag. Now I can activate Zeus on my own time. And here everything goes bye-bye. My board gets wiped because Absolute Zero. But now he's at 2100. So now I can kind of just kill him very easily here. Summon 2. And there's Kokart. And boom, he's dead. GG, pretty clean. Did he do the best plays? I think he did the best he could for what he had. He didn't have Ferris in hand. I think Ferris definitely would have made the match tougher. Hello, and we are here with game number 4, and we're playing against Nice Try Dude. This guy is playing a Tri-Brigade Lyceric list, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. This was actually one of our community members, Fortunato, trying to snipe me on ladder, because he knows I was playing Krawler. So he wanted to snipe me on ladder, and he played a deck purposely to counter me. Okay? It was actually really funny at the time, because I was like, what the fuck? You're gonna see what I'm talking about. So he's doing these plays. He goes into Draco Future, obviously really strong. I have Evenly though, so I'm not worried about this. The thing about Lysergic Tri-Brigade, they usually don't really set up Omni Negates very well. So this card you should be afraid of. Ancient Warriors. Here comes Robin. Robin's annoying too. Alright. And now the Dark Samorg, really? So this guy, he special summons out of the deck a card that prevents me from setting cards. So I literally can't play my set cards. So I just thought it was funny because I had the Evenly Max. If I did not have Evenly Max, this is an auto loss. There's no shot we win this. I'm going to throw that out there. He does Ghost Ogre my Gearsil, which is not good for me. I do get to send the trap to the graveyard, but I still don't really have anything to do here. Right? So now my only shot in the dark, I actually probably still lose this. My only shot in the dark is Fortunato doesn't read my field spell. So when he destroys a flip monster, I can send the monster to the graveyard. So now that Dark Samorg's out of the way, you can actually go ahead and try and win this duel. We're going to activate this. He imperms me. So right now, I'm begging him to not top deck a Tri-Brigade card. Because if he top decks a Tri-Brigade card, you're probably going to lose, I'd say. I'm hoping this isn't Revolt. He doesn't do anything, so we end up going into Lib. Lib sets trap. I'm just making sure, like, I know I can kill him, but, like, I'm making sure that, you know, don't want to die. Got the Boral Sword. And he has Cross out. That's his last card. GG. Game's over. Ooh, that feels good. That's what you get for sniping me on ladder, you little jerk. It was really funny though when the match was going on. Because I did with the amount of people queuing, like I couldn't imagine. I didn't think we were actually gonna match, but it was pretty funny. Hello, this is a 5th and final match, and we are playing against this guy. And I just want to say we're gonna fast forward through this match because this is a long one, and you'll see why. He activates Domain, he activates Trap Trick. Goes into Category or whatever. I add Galil to the hand. He activates Soul of the Supreme. I honestly don't know what any of these cards do. I know what the Dinomorph cards do. I'm not familiar with the Supreme King cards. So I just evenly match just to get rid of this. I set 3 because I know I can pop. So Rexstrom negates all your cards, right? Unless you have higher thing, right? So the idea is I set Spine because he attacks with Rexstrom, or even if he doesn't attack, I can just flip it with pawns. I do the dumbest thing in my life, right? When he normal summoned Ash, I should have instantly seen this guy's going into Psychic Ender. But for some reason, my brain didn't put that together. So now I am going to pretty much have a very hard time this game. So he goes into Psychic End Punisher. I have nothing in the deck to actually beat this. I have one way of beating it. And this is a way I discovered while I was playing. So the play is to activate Destrudo. Alright, so this is something you guys don't know, but like Destrudo, right? If you flip it face down from Soma's effect, it actually goes to the graveyard, right? Instead of going to the inside your deck. So my idea right now was to Destrudo over and over, flip it face down with Soma so I get lower than 1,000 life points, right? So I can actually be able to interact with Psychic and Punisher, right? That's the plan. So I summon Soma, flip it face down. Summon that. Summon that. Honestly, I'm kind of I'm kind of annoyed because I definitely could have. So we get wing. This is really annoying. This is gonna be a very tough thing to deal with. I kind of feel bad though because I feel like I should have. No, never mind. This is fine. He attacks. This is all fine, actually. Okay. You're gonna recycle again. Down to 2,000. Here comes Soma again. Flips her face down. I should have been abusing this pawns, though. I wasn't abusing it, and I really should have. Okay, again, I flipped this face down because I thought it would let me keep it. Because I didn't want to have to fucking deal with playing against this. Because a lot of my stuff is targeted. So he flips up this. I activate again, pawn. I pretty much have to activate this to flip his face down. So he doesn't kill me, obviously. So we flip Ravenier to recycle Soma. And Spine. So this is a plan, because I have other... I have to go into Link Monsters, right? So I go into Lib. Let's reset Mind Meld, which is actually nice. I activate Mind Meld to set Spine. And then I activate Pawns to flip this to pop my Lib. Because if I don't pop Lib, he just kills it, right? And now I Soma it. We're down to 1,000 now. But remember, it has to be... I have to be less life points than him. Right? Hold on. While you're playing less than or equal to? Yeah, so I need to be less than. Right? So now we're going to do this all over again. I flip up my Axon. He actually has another domain, which is really, really unfortunate for us. This is another misplay, but this is all in hindsight, remember. I really should have just kept Kenta Grina on the board. And the reason why I should have... I should have popped this, because I could have, like, just went into tried going into Borreload and seeing if I could just kill it. You know what I mean? I feel like that probably would have been the right play. Summon. Summon. Summon Drashudo. Again, we go into Spright Elf. Spright Elf summons this. And then we special summon. I'm just really trying to rush this to get down to lower than 500 life points. Flip. Pop my elf. Kills this. And here we go. Black Ruza. Fuck, dude, this is getting it. And then Drashudo finally went into the deck because I had no more Somas, but we have Dendrite, so. Go to Trish. This is another misplay. I literally, like I said, I should have just... I should have just left on the battlefield and gone to the Borosword, steal half his attack and kill him. It's really unfortunate. Because this card, you can't target it, so the only ways I can kill it are, like, it's really bizarre how I actually can beat this. I can out his board, though. I can out it. It's going to take me a while. Like, pop. I go into Borosword. Mind Meld. He activates Max C. It's just really annoying. I definitely could have outed this, though. And then I get Wing Dragon Spear moded again. And he draws. He ends up finding... He's pretty much looking for a very specific card to kill me. It's kind of annoying. It's so annoying. I did what I wanted to do. Finally got rid of End Punisher. And I'm losing because of these cards. Now we found Solemn. Called by, he hits Soma, so that's fine. It's really not a big deal. I don't have a way of attacking him still, so I do have an idea. So the idea, I'm gonna tell you right now. So this is what makes us lose. So this is what's really annoying. He activates this card to resurrect both of his. He was literally looking for this entire time. Alert. This lets him resurrect both of them, and then he can chain block Diplos. This card burns me for 500. So now I lose to that. I literally, it's so annoying because I lost to myself pretty much. Because I'm like overthinking, oh, my opponent has an answer. They have an answer. They have an answer. If you see a way of winning, just winning right on the spot, I think you always take it. Because, like, I thought for some reason, like, I ran through all my resources. Like, I didn't have Lib anymore. Like, it should have been obvious. Like, okay, your only way of killing him is just tack over a big monster. Boom, you can kill him with Boral Sword after you remove the unaffected. But yeah, it was kind of annoying. Whatever. It was a good game though. I thought it was interesting. And it had a lot of Krawler play. So let's get into the recap and see how the deck did. Hello and welcome to the recap. Thank you for watching this far. And I just wanted to say, please consider subscribing because it helps out the channel greatly. That being said, also join our Discord. Our Discord is awesome. 400 members strong. And guess what? It's only going to keep growing. We're going to keep doing tournaments. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing that. We're going to... It's going to be great. So... it's going to be pretty sweet. So, that all being said, the link is down below. How did the deck perform? We're at the recap. How did it perform? I'm going to say I had to tweak this deck a lot. Like, we were messing with the ratios pretty much for, like, hours. Like, I'm talking about, like, 5+ hours, 6+ hours, 7+ hours, 8+ hours. I don't even know. We were messing for a while. I think these ratios for the pure variant, I think this is fine. If I'm missing something, I'm going to feel like a doo-doo head. But I think these ratios for the pure variant is actually kind of fine. I do think Fossil Dyna, I think this card might just be better as Barrier Statue. And hear me out why. Because if you have Fossil Dyna on the field... you can't Soma. Barrier Statue, you can play Soma. And the interesting too with Barrier Statue is you can do like set all your cards and stuff. And if you have World Legacy pawns, right, you can flip up Barrier Statue, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I think that's something that might need to be addressed. But how the deck performed though? You guys want to know win rates? The deck didn't perform very well. We were pretty much sitting at like we would win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game, lose a few games, win a few games. It felt honestly, it felt way worse than it actually performed because I went back and actually looked at how many games I was winning and stuff like that. I was actually winning a lot more than I thought. But sometimes people just concede for no reason, or they concede from, like, they concede if they make a misplay or something like that. You know what I mean? So, but we are also doing the same. I think sometimes I just concede if I know I have no out. So, if my opponent's going to build, like, a board of, like, 7 negates and I have no outs and I'm going second, it's probably not worth me playing that game. Evenly was great. I feel like Evenly's a must show. You have to have in the deck. Soma performed awesome. The extra deck, honestly, if you want to cut the Destrudo, you can. But I did kind of like having the option of doing it. I just don't know how consistent it is. Like, we run Foolish Burial, but I don't know if that's enough. We're also running Foolish Burial Goods because of Mind Meld. Just to get Mind Meld in the graveyard. Because this card's a really easy way of getting Deus Ex Krawler. I wish there was a more consistent way of getting into our traps. Like, maybe Trap Tricks, like playing Trap Trick, the trap card, might help get into pawns and stuff. Because, like, honestly, the deck really, like, works amazingly when you have World Legacy pawn on the field. Because let me go through a scenario here, right? You activate World's Legacy Survivor. You end up special summoning into Lib. Lib lets you go into Pawns. And then, yeah, then the great thing about Pawns now is your face down cards can act as interruptions. You know what I mean? It's even crazier if, pretend, let's say I activate World Legacy Survivor. And let's say I Mind Meld, right? Now we're going into Lib. We're setting Pawns, and then we're also setting Deus Ex Krawler, which is actually a really good play. I really like Krawlers, though. I actually, like, as much as I raged on the deck, I actually had a lot of fun playing the deck. I actually really like the deck. I just don't... This is definitely not the best variant. And like I said, I was playing on I was pretty much like Plat 5, Plat 4. And we were pretty much just coasting. We weren't increasing rank or anything like that. So we were just winning a game, losing a game, winning a game, losing a game. It just wasn't the best. I think this deck, for this deck to really take off to another level, you have to play with the meta. And to play with the meta, you need to be playing Spright. I've seen already lists going out there where they're playing Spright, Shaddoll, all this other stuff. That probably does look like the best option. I'm going to end up playing... a list probably like that soon and doing a deck profile on it so you guys can see how that plays. That should probably come out Friday though. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. If you guys are interested in seeing any other type of deck, let me know too. Because there are some cards like my Akashi got some new cards and stuff like that. That all being said, power level scaling of like 1 to 10, because that's what you guys like, right? 1 to 10. I'm probably going to give this a solid... I'll probably give it like a... I'll give it a 6. It's not horrific. But it's not... It's just not... Like, compared to the meta, that's the problem. If the meta was just a little less powerful, it would definitely place a bit higher. But it's just that the meta is just so obnoxious right now. Like, you have to be playing, like... You have to play with the meta if you want to be in it, pretty much. We're not even talking about... I didn't even play against any, like, the Ishizu mill decks and stuff like that. I would have just got smoked. Like, if they just went first. I do nothing. They just mill all my cards. I'm just dead. Okay. Well, fun game. So, yeah, I would say this is like a meme tier or a fun tier deck. So, if you just want to play this, like, casually, that's probably what I would say. Should you craft these cards? I'm going to tell you right now, the craftable card right here, I think you craft Somas. Like, if you want to play Krawler, if you're interested or you're on the edge, I think if you have Spright already, Krawler is... Because this card is like a one-man army with Spright. Like, this card does great stuff with Spright. So, yeah. Yeah, we'll have a video up for that. But yeah, the deck just wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. You know what? Any deck that's like usually like flip based usually isn't gonna... I actually thought Ghost Trick was more consistent than this, to be honest. Like, because Ghost Trick has a lot more support, I feel like, than Krawler. Especially when it comes to their stuff. Because Mind Meld, this card could be so good, but like, it's kind of annoying. Like, I wish when this, like, while you control a Krawler card, this card becomes return one face-up Krawler your opponent controls. The fact that they made it so, like, he can just bounce back my links and stuff, like, it makes you not want to go link summoning, you know what I mean? So that's a big gripe I have with this card. Because this card would be so much better if it read like that. But, and the Krawler, the big weakness that they have is... they have to be face up when they leave the field from an opponent's effect. Like, if this card just, like, your opponent pops a card, it, like, special summons 2 cards, and for anyone saying that would be too powerful, you're out of your mind. Like, if you say it's too powerful, but you think Sprite's fine, where you can just summon, like, 30 fucking cards, you're out of your mind. So, it would not be too powerful for them to just... For this card to read, just... If this card leaves the battlefield because an opponent's card effect... Special summon 2 Krawlers. So if they banish my card or destroy my card, banish it, whatever, while it's face down, I get the benefit of it special summoning 2 cards. I think that I really don't think that would be that bad. Because remember, it's about opponent's card effect. I'm not talking about battle. So there is play around. You know I'm playing Krawler. Attack over him. I'll tell you. So, I don't know. I don't think it would be that bad, personally. But this video has gone long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed. And goodbye.